Hey everyone, my name is Amy Morris and I am a teacher at Hightower Trail Middle School in Cobb County. I decided to do a 1 hour workshop for our faculty on making Edmodo worth my time. Edmodo is a new technology tool that our administration is pushing on their faculty this year. They want all of our teachers to come together and use the same type of blogging sources, the way we deliver our content, our information, our reminders, and everything. So everyone in our school is required to use Edmodo as their sole means of communication with stuff outside the classroom. And I decided to piggyback all that because administration says there's so much more. We just don't have time to explain it all to these teachers, and it's a whole lot. So I decided to do a workshop on making Edmodo worth my time. And this is kind of, I developed through a Wix site. This is the main page, the home page. And I decided to just put the agenda for them, a digital copy as well as they all got a hard copy of this and all the handouts that I will show you throughout this. So it's making Edmodo worth its time. We started the workshop with this pulled up, and I kind of used the whole website as a base for all our discussions and how we're working through, because it was a very active workshop. So I was walking around helping teachers get onto sites, make sure their documents were right, and make sure they were understanding what I was saying and helping to follow the step-by-step instructions that was given. So there's I embedded a basic video about kind of just the basic Edmodo account and why we have an account and what are all the little passwords, codes, and that kind of stuff. And then this school year, exactly what I said, teachers are required to use Edmodo as their blogging portal. This workshop is to show you what more Edmodo has to offer and how easy it is. So after the main page, making sure everyone was logged on in the workshop, everyone had Edmodo and had all their technology things that we needed to get the workshop started. We moved on. Our first one that we did was creating a class. And some teachers have already had this, and some teachers just had one class when they taught multiple preps. So it was helpful to create other classes. So I gave the teachers a handout, the basic step-by-step with pictures, but we also had this pulled up on the smartboard as I was walking around helping teachers pick and choose names of classes, who to add, how to create a class, do I need more than one class per subject, and all that kind of stuff. So it's fun learning because I had a lot of people from different, actually I didn't have a lot of people, honestly. We only had 6 people show up out of all the people invited, but I had 2 Spanish and health PE, a math, and a science. So it was cool because I've seen different aspects of the school because I teach in my little bubble down in the gym, so I don't get to see many teachers outside of that. And then we moved on to joining, how the students join a group, or how to join the other aspects of Edmodo, which is you can join professional groups, you could join the Cobb County School District, you could join the Hightower Trail community, you could join the running club group, you could join all these different groups professionally and academically, and I showed them how they could join other things. So it would pop on their news feed, very much like Facebook, so they could stay in the loop, and this could be another way to kind of bring all the different technologies that they're using into one aspect instead of checking email, checking Facebook, and Remind 101 and all remind texts and all that kind of fun stuff. So if you join the groups and that kind of stuff and everyone gets on board, it was really cool to see how it tones down all the excess stuff. And then we moved on to posting, and this was kind of the cool. This is probably the main blogging type thing that teachers use right now. Posting, we have posting pictures. We did a fundraiser for Hurricane Harvey victims, so it was kind of showing our community and the people in our school what they were doing. And then I also showed another aspect of the my health and PE classroom. We were using fit bands, blink bands, finding target heart rate, and all that kind of fun stuff. So my kids love seeing pictures of themselves and activities of the class on the screen. So it was really cool how to share the pictures to all my students and their parents, seeing what they're doing there in a very private setting, because these people have to be accepted to join these groups. Reminders, basic. Hey, bring your PE clothes. Hey, we have a guest speaker tomorrow. Remember to turn in your health articles. Reminder, field trip money. Reminder, big test tomorrow. Reminder, bring your math book to class. Lots of different ways that this can shoot out. And kids are so tech savvy, and parents are. If they have everything at their fingertips, and Edmodo app on their phone, and this pops up, it's limiting the multiple places that they have to go to get all this useful information to make their students successful. And then also, this is the one I like the best, and it's helped out a lot, is a lot of our teachers are using it as notes. They'll take pictures of their screen in class, and then the students will be able to log on to the Edmodo account and instantly be uploaded, or the students are even, it's almost like a flipped classroom. You can give the notes prior to, kids can see what they're talking about, so they're ready and engaged in class. And some don't have to sit and write their notes as fast as they can and totally not take in any of the information that's being said. So the notes is one of my favorite, because you can just take, honestly, a picture of your classroom on the board. Really cool. That was probably most of the time of our workshop was spent in this, because this is what we all do every day, but most teachers were just blogging, like writing simple reminders, and didn't know that they could just use their iPad and post a picture and it would be just as good. And students love it. And then the last thing, which we didn't get as in depth as I wanted to in this because of time reasons, I embedded different videos on polls, which I think is super useful in class, just polling your audience, seeing what they're suggesting, or kind of as a pre-assessment right before you start a chapter to see how they're doing. But we went on online quizzes and project submission, showing how the students could submit a project to their teacher all through Edmodo, and it cuts down in, well, I lost my flash drive, well, I sent you an email, well, my computer died, yada, yada, yada. But it's all in Edmodo, so teachers have a spot that says, Johnny submitted at this time with a timestamp. Betty submitted this time. Oh, Betty Sue submitted after the deadline, but it was submitted. And then the quizzes and polls, we did a short multiple choice quiz. Some teachers were just like, hey, do you like this? True or false, really? And they created a quiz that they could use as a simple assessment in the classroom on a bring your own device day, or students could do this at home or in the library if they don't have the means, and it would give the teachers an instant grade and an instant form of assessment that they could use to gauge their student learning further, or to give an assessment in the class. They don't have to run a Scan-Tron machine because all the grades are right there. So we didn't get as far in this. I think I see in the future that we'll be doing more on assessments, project submission, and simple putting tests and quizzes on here, because it's very beneficial. And we have so many different laptop carts, iPad carts. We have so many computer labs that teachers are super excited about using this. So it's kind of cool to see where they're going. The last thing, I took everything that I handed out in the beginning of the workshop, and I kind of put it in the workshop agenda, the handouts for joining groups, for posting different documents, for the different types of assessments, and for creating simple classes, but also did the works cited for all the information that I used, and the help center, which I use sometimes when I forget the password, locked out. Why can't I get drop this person for my class? Why can't I join a different group, and that kind of stuff? Has a couple top 20 things that Edmodo has to offer. And then this is probably the most beneficial for everyone, is the workshop agenda, the lesson plan. Lesson plan, making Edmodo worth my time, and it's just the basics overview. The purpose of this workshop is to provide teachers with some helpful information and confidence related to Edmodo. Edmodo is required. All teachers at Hightower Trail Middle School blog, and is their permanent blogging portal. This workshop has been developed with the suggestions of HTMS administration. There's so much more to Edmodo to offer with very little effort. This workshop will provide teachers with an overview of 4 simple features that can be used in classroom management and assessments. The goal of this lesson is for teachers to leave a new level of confidence in the creation of posts and assessments. Then I went through the standards, the objectives, kind of the goals that was written on the agenda also. Materials needed, all the teachers were asked to, in my flyer, to bring a laptop or their iPad that has Edmodo up and running. I also asked them to bring a simple multiple choice assessment and a couple pictures of their classroom or pictures of their board with notes on them. So it's verification, how I was kind of assessing if my teachers were getting the information that I needed and how I would evaluate the workshop. So joining an Edmodo workshop, we kind of made just our little community, a professional development community where we can post back and forth to each other. I post and they respond, just kind of doing a checks and balances to see where they are. And if I need to come help them after this workshop, that our Edmodo group would help that. I would know where to find them and kind of walk them through certain things that they needed. And it was kind of cool because we all got to share, because of the few people that were there. We all got to share, like, hey, this is my creation. Look how cool this is. Or we kind of piggybacked other people's ideas and stole different ideas from each other. So that it was kind of cool to see teachers actually engaging and working together, which actually made it super easy for me being the instructor of the workshop, because I was really just going along, giving them the information and helping them turn the wheels and increase creativity and gain the confidence in these areas. So it isn't a burden of every day using Edmodo, but it comes as easy. And if they've got the confidence, then they're more willing to do it. And then I kind of took this, a helpful hint from another colleague, and additional documents and links. So I put everything here at the end of my lesson plan, handouts, and they're all links to the handouts of the class, each different one, a link to the website that I used, a link to the lesson plan, agenda, promotional flyer, and all the evaluation tools and the data that came from the evaluation tools. So I posted my evaluation flyer in my mailroom because it was just easier, but I also sent a digital copy through everyone. So I got probably about 20 responses. 6 people showed up. Super nervous about that because I think that, oh, it's a health and PE teacher teaching me technology. So honestly, all in all, the workshop went awesome. The response from the colleagues that came to the workshop was unbelievable. But next time, I think I would make my workshop a little bit shorter, maybe 30 minutes, and just focus on one aspect, and teachers can come and go as they please and not just throw 3, 4 different ones, because we only got to kind of like 3 and a half, almost 4 different documents. So I kind of, main website was based off that, all that kind of stuff. Click for the agenda. Evaluation. So I think I've hit everything in the rubric that I needed to. One more, sorry. The YouTube video link or face-to-face instruction guide. I use my technology as this website. The teachers got the link to this website. They could follow along with us as we are working, or they could keep it as a go-to later on. My questionnaire evaluation at the end was an X that I asked them to actually fill it out at the end, and let's see what it pulls up, and then they would just go to the evaluation, and they actually completed it right when they left. So it had Gusky's levels of evaluation. It actually helped me out a lot because everyone responded what was most beneficial to them. I got all different answers, but I personally felt like it was organized. So with the data that came back saying that it was organized and it was on a level that they felt comfortable doing, that was really important to me, because I didn't want to overwhelm and bombard people, because I wasn't sure the levels that were coming, levels and confidence in Edmodo that were going to come to the workshop. So I think next time I might do a pre-assessment and say, kind of feelers out there, hey, what's your level, and give them a pre-assessment. How confident are you in Edmodo, and how likely are you going to use this in your everyday classroom? Kind of see where it is and maybe know where to start. But honestly, as a first workshop, for me, with 6 people showing up, it was the best. I'm glad that I got my foot in the door and that notch is in my belt, and I have the confidence to go further because I talk in front of adults all the time about injuries and wellness and health and that kind of stuff, but I don't usually give them a technology device, give them a program, an active working workshop. So this was kind of nerve-wracking to me, but in the outcome, it turned out awesome, and I can't wait for the next one.